Are you tired of spending all school year fighting with your kids? Do you want to feel closer, more connected, and maybe even make a difference in your child's life? Well, this week we have a very special episode of This Parenting Life that will help you create a deeper connection with your kids during this back-to-school season. Hi, I'm Mary, and at This Indulgent Life, I help you navigate parenting, education, and creating your extraordinary life. So this week, we have a very special extra episode of This Parenting Life where I'm going to help you develop some ways to reconnect with your kids during this busy back-to-school transition. Do you struggle to connect with your kids more or less during the school year? Why do you think that is? Let me know in the comments below. So my 10 ways to help you reconnect with your kids during the school year. Let's start off with number 1. It's kind of a big one, but it's also a really difficult one. It is eat more meals together as a family around the table. Studies show that regular meals together as a family around a table, not a TV, helps children become healthier, happier, and even smarter as they are exposed to adult-level conversation, vocabulary, and even current events. Meals together help families reconnect. It's a time to talk about your day, your successes, your failures, your goals, and your dreams. Studies have shown that families that eat together have a better chance of noticing and preventing bullying, depression, and other social issues. When you eat together, children just feel more heard because you're focused on each other, not on your phones, not on the TV, not on chores. You're just sitting and talking together. In fact, research shows that not only is this beneficial for children, but it's beneficial for mothers as well. Mothers tend to be less stressed and happier when they eat with their family at a table than mothers who don't. I don't want you to feel like you have to automatically start eating every single dinner or even breakfast and dinner together. Set small goals and then increase those goals. So start with one day or one meal a week, then 2 meals a week, and then until you can do as many as you can fit into your schedule. But I will tell you this, if you start having these meals and you focus on conversation, no phones, no TV, no yelling or scolding, you will see the connection in your family increase. Way number 2 to create more connection with your kids. Make sure to give physical affection. This may be the most important way to connect with your kids. In fact, studies have shown that infants who do not get physical connection actually can die. Their growth actually comes to a halt, and kids have died from lack of affection. It's a real thing, and it's something to take seriously. Author and family therapist Virginia Satter, I hope I said her name right, once said, "We need 4 hugs a day for survival, 8 hugs a day for maintenance, and 12 hugs a day for growth." That's a lot of hugs when you only see your kids a few hours a day at max. So it's really important that you utilize that time and give them that physical connection. Studies have shown that hugging for at least 15 seconds at a time can do so many amazing things for you and your children. It's not just children that need this physical affection. It can decrease stress and make both of you happier. It can keep you and your kids healthier. There's actually studies that show that an increase in hugs show a decrease in illness. I don't understand it, but hey, if it works, give the kids all the hugs you need so that they don't get sick so often. Hugging makes your child feel safe. And studies have shown that when a child feels safe, it helps them become more independent later. Hugging actually helps your child learn to regulate their emotions. The physical touch does so many things to our nervous system. You can see it anywhere from Temple Grandin, I think I said her name right, when she developed that hugging machine for cows and kids with autism. And you can see it even in yourself. I mean, when you're feeling like crap, sometimes a hug or a touch of the shoulder really can change your mood, can't it? Hugging helps your child grow. In fact, it's kind of essential to their growth. And some studies have even attributed a higher IQ to physical affection. Other ways to give physical affection can be as simple as holding their hand, lightly touching their shoulder, snuggling them to read a book, even snuggling on the couch to watch some TV. All these ways to connect to your child can go into those 12 hugs a day. Way number 3 to help reconnect with your kids during this busy time is to spend more quality time with your child, preferably one-on-one. In fact, one of the things that kids ask more of from their parents is one-on-one time. That's going to be really hard with the more kids that you have, but it becomes more important. Now, it's not saying that you have to go and spend an hour a day with each child, but 15 minutes of quality time is going to be way more beneficial than 2 hours of distracted time. So really concentrate on spending a chunk of time with each child individually, talking to them, listening to them, doing something that they enjoy. I don't know if you know the movie White Christmas, but there's a funny little line in it that kind of goes back to this, where the two main characters are talking about how one of them needs more time to himself. And he says, if I could just get you married and you have 9 kids and you just spend 5 minutes a day with each kid, that's 45 minutes all to myself. So even back then in the 50s, they had this idea of spending quality one-on-one time. Even if it is 5 minutes, that's 5 minutes that your child will feel important. Here are a few ways that you can spend some quality time with your kids. Number 1, cuddle them to sleep. That takes the physical affection and quality time all rolled into one. Or you can even just lay down on the bed next to them and talk to them. Just talk about your day, your dreams, your goals, and things that you like. Another way is to cook together. And this is a great way to spend some time with your kids because it does a few things. 1, you get your dinner cooked. It may take a little longer, but hey, at least you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. And 2, it teaches your kids how to cook, which, as we know, is a huge problem in today's era because a lot of people don't know how to cook. So not only do you get the reconnection, but you get a skill out of it as well. You can go on a walk together. You can play games together, board games, video games, games outside, tag. Kids love this. A really good way to reconnect with your child and spend that one-on-one time is to just sit down with them after school, even before they have to do their homework. Just ask them about their day. If you need help figuring out what to ask, because I know in the moment I always forget, I will put a link down in the description to my blog post on this, and it will have a place where you can sign up to receive some conversation starters. Way number 4 to reconnect with your kids, playtime. Okay, honestly, this is probably one of the hardest ways to reconnect with my child. I don't know why. I just don't play well. I'm not a playful person anymore. I'm working on it, but I struggle with this one. Maybe it's my years of being a teacher or in the authority figure, but playing is difficult for me. So if playing is difficult for you, Here are some ways that you can have a playful time with your child. Have a dance party. Put on some fun music and act completely ridiculous. The kids will love it. Play make-believe. Get out some old blankets, make capes or things out of them, and be some magical fairy or princess or knight, I don't know, soldier. Just act things out. Play make-believe. Take their lead. Let them come up with the ideas. They feel in charge and less pressure on you. You could build a fort. Take your dining room table, put the chairs out, throw some blankets over top, and crawl under, and you have a fort. Or take your couch cushions. I know that might stress you out, but it's okay. And you can make a fort out of those. I mean, that was one of the things I did as a kid all the time. We would take things out into the yard and make forts. Big blankets and chairs. Love making forts. You could sing silly songs. Make up silly songs. Play Tickle Monster. Kids typically love being tickled. I was one that didn't really like being tickled, but a lot of kids love being tickled. Just follow your kids' lead on that one, because if they're like me, they don't like not breathing. You could wrestle with your kids. And I know this goes against popular opinion, but wrestle with them before bed. It will actually help them to sleep better because they're getting all that extra energy out. They feel connected to you, and then they have less energy and go to sleep. So wrestle. Kids, I don't know why, but they love to wrestle. And finally, do some arts and crafts. Get messy. I hate slime, but you know what? I know kids love it. And if that helps them reconnect with you, then I guess you just do what you gotta do. Or you could make Play-Doh, or you could paint. Just get in there, get messy, throw them in the tub later. And for the record, please never, ever, ever let me hear you say you are no good at art. If you can draw a stick figure, then you are perfectly fine at art. Your kid doesn't need to hear that. They need to hear that they can do it and that it doesn't matter where you are as long as you keep practicing, or that you have fun with it. No one cares that you don't draw a perfect dog or a perfect cloud. Your kid just wants to spend time with you. So don't worry if you're not any good at it. Just do it. Number 5, verbalize your feelings. Oh, I know that one's going to be really difficult too. Especially since most of us did not grow up expressing our feelings. Feelings were meant to be personal and not expressed to everybody else. Well, you know what? Express those feelings. I remember when my grandfather died, my mom told me that she could only remember maybe 4 times that he ever told her that he loved her. Even though we knew that he loved us through his actions, we couldn't remember him actually saying it. And many people go through their whole lives trying to please their parents and just hear those simple words. I love you. I love you for who you are. So it's really important that you say it. I know that for some people, saying I love you and speaking your feelings are not easy. So here are some easy ways to verbally show affection to your child. And it's important to remember that for some people, words of affirmation are their love language. So even if it's not natural and easy for you, or if you don't particularly care to hear it, your kids, your spouse, they may need to hear it. Okay, so make sure you say, I love you 5 times a day. And try to make it the first thing they hear in the morning and the last thing they hear at night. So they can go to bed confident in your love and wake up feeling loved. Another way is to just ask them about their life. Ask them about their dreams, their goals, or even their favorite topic. I mean, whose kid loves dinosaurs and could talk all day about dinosaurs? If you just ask them about it, they are going to feel so important and loved because you want to know about what they love. And finally, tell them something that you love about them, a characteristic that you love. But make sure that it's something that they have control over. Don't say something like, I love how smart you are. A kid has no control over how smart they are technically. Make sure it's something like, I love watching you persevere. I love watching you work through a problem. Then it's something that they are doing, that they have some ownership over, and it's something that they can replicate. And it helps teach them a new vocabulary word as well. All right, number 6, or in Hong Kong, number 6. Make eye contact. This one is so hard. I do not like making eye contact with people. There's a vulnerability there, a nervousness there, but it's so important that we make eye contact with people. Not only will it teach them to make eye contact, which helps them out in the world, but it also helps foster a deeper connection. What's great about this method is that it can be combined with other methods. When you're reading a story, when you're doing bath time, when you're hugging, when you're eating dinner, when you're doing playtime, all of these times you can actually add in eye contact, which will help increase that reconnection. Here are some reasons to be intentional about making eye contact with your child, especially during conversations. Lack of eye contact can actually send the message that you aren't really listening. You may be lying, or that you don't find the conversation or the child important. And in some ways, it can even be construed as a lack of respect. Having eye contact actually helps everyone focus on the conversation better. Making eye contact actually helps create a deeper connection. I mean, the eyes are the window to the soul, right? How many cheesy romance movies have we watched where they make eye contact across the room and are instantly in love and soulmates? Okay, so that may be a little overboard. But if it's that powerful in movies, imagine how powerful it is in real life. And eye contact actually helps increase the likelihood of understanding. You can see their body language, you're focused. It's really important, especially if you're trying to get your child's attention to give an instruction, make sure you have that eye contact. It will help make sure that they are listening and understand. So, just as a little disclaimer though, while eye contact is super important and shows care and concern, there are times where eye contact would actually not be beneficial. When you need to be extra vulnerable, sometimes it's actually better to sit shoulder to shoulder or lie down next to each other. Just think about like in the car. I mean, sometimes we have our best conversations in the car, right? Ever wonder why you might have the best conversations in the car when you're not looking each other in the eye? It's because there's a lack of intensity of the gaze. When you're looking at somebody, you see their body language. You see any expressions that they make. And so you tend to not want to be as vulnerable because you're worried about what is going to happen in their facial expressions. So while there are times to make eye contact, please note, don't force eye contact during difficult discussions. You might actually find more honesty if you just sit next to them and don't force eye contact. Number 7 of ways to connect with your child. Reminisce. It's not just parents that like to think back on fond memories. Kids love it too. In fact, they also want to hear about your memories that don't even involve them. They want to hear what your life was like as a child. They want to know what their grandparents were like. So tell them stories of the past. Tell them what your favorite memories are. Tell them funny stories about where you made mistakes and show them you're human too. Kids love this. Plus, it's a great way to tell your kids about grandparents and other family members and to retain that family history and to treasure it with your kids, especially if it's not picture perfect. Okay, number 8. This one's going to be a little odd. Creating routine helps a child feel safe. It lets them know what to expect. That's why it's important in the classroom as well as at home. In fact, when you talk about a baby trying to go to sleep, often people will recommend creating a bedtime routine. Now, I'm not saying going with the flow or surprises are bad. In fact, the opposite. But having certain routines helps everybody know what their place is, and it just helps you to make sure to find time to reconnect. So create a routine about what to do in the morning, what to do when you get home, and what to do about dinner and bedtime. Maybe child A helps with putting out dishes, and child B helps clean up dishes. Just these little expectations helps your family run smoother, which makes you calmer and helps everybody relax and enjoy their time together. And again, make sure that you make reconnecting a priority in those routines. Now, also make sure to leave some time for spontaneity. You don't want to be so locked into your routine that you don't enjoy a spontaneous moment. Number 9, we're almost there. Okay, so the next way to reconnect with your kids is to offer choices. Kids want some independence. They want to feel like their opinion matters. And so when you offer a choice, you're saying, I value your opinion. Parents, they want to get through their checklist. They want to keep their kids healthy and happy and relieve some of their mental load. So by giving choices, you don't have to make all the decisions. Offering choices will actually decrease on the daily battles that you have with your kids and give your kids some ownership of the decisions, especially when you combine it with number 8 of creating routines. Here are some areas that you could offer choices to your kids. Dinner choices. Maybe meal plan for the week and have everybody have input into the different kinds of foods that you might eat that week. They can help actually plan the meals for the week. That way when it comes to dinner time, they know they had a part in deciding what they were eating that day. You can even have them help you with grocery shopping. Let's say they chose to make spaghetti this week. Well, you could ask them to go find the noodles. You could also give them a budget to work from so they don't buy the most expensive noodles. But have them make that decision. Don't feel like you have to have a certain kind of noodle. In fact, be more concerned with the fact that they actually helped you. Another area that you could offer choice is asking them, would you like to have a bath or would you like to have a shower? Would you like a bath with bubbles or no bubbles? Would you like to take a bath standing up or sitting down? You don't have to give all those choices, but find one kind of set of choices that you want to give. It all leads to the same goal of they're getting clean, but then they feel like they have ownership. They have input in what they're doing. Another one that might help for when kids get home is the homework question. So if you are a parent that feels your child has to do homework, then give them a choice about where or how. Would you like to do homework at the table or on the floor? Would you like to have a snack first or finish homework first? Would you like 20 minutes of playtime or do you want to just get homework out of the way? Give your child some choices. It will take a bit of time for your child to get used to having these choices, but make sure whatever choice you give, you're okay with either one they choose. Another one is brushing your teeth while dancing or making funny faces. Both ways, they're brushing their teeth, but you're having fun while you're doing it. So it goes back to that other point of playtime. Or if you want to get really silly, and you've got some younger kids, you can ask them, would they like to jump to the car or dance to the car? Either way, you're heading out the door on time, but you're doing it in a fun way, and they got to make a decision. Okay, number 10, we're finally there. The very last way I have for you to reconnect with your child. Take time to breathe and talk when you get home. I know that it's so stressful in life, and we have such a short amount of time to get so much done. You have homework, dishes, dinner, baths, bedtime, whatever else you need to do, laundry, cleaning. But again, prioritize reconnecting with your child. And the easiest way to do that is that when you get home, have some time to decompress. Take 10 minutes, or if you have multiple children, you might need to, adjust as needed. But just to sit down together or one-on-one and ask them about their day. Even if your child still has homework to do, homework can wait. Heck, I will even be the teacher to say it, but at the end of the day, homework is not important. Not when it comes down to spending time with your child. Because in 10 years, no one is going to miss not doing homework. But you are going to miss, and your child is going to miss, not spending some time together. Just make sure to inform your child's teacher of your decision. That way they don't penalize your child for not finishing their homework by taking away recess or something. Make sure they know that that's not what you want. Again, if you don't know what kind of questions to ask or what to talk about, I'll be including a link in the description below to the blog post on this topic. And when you sign up for the newsletter, you'll be given access to the After Schools Talking cheat sheet, as well as any other free resources I've created. So I know our lives are hectic, and there never seems to be enough time in the day to get everything done. But it's essential for the growth and well-being of our children and us to have that time to reconnect. Remember that some of these methods will only take you 15 seconds. And that 15 minutes of one-on-one time is going to be way more valuable than 3 hours of just coexisting. So it doesn't have to mean a huge chunk of your day. I hope this video helped you come up with some ways to reconnect with your child. If it has, please let me know your favorite way to reconnect with your child below in the comments. And then hit the like button so that I know you want more videos like this. If you want to be more inspired, if you want to be a more mindful parent, if you want to know what it takes to take that next step in living your extraordinary life, then make sure to hit the subscribe button below. And then don't forget to hit the bell to make sure you get notifications about when new videos come up. You will get weekly tips and inspiration on creating your ideal life. Thank you so much for watching, and see you soon on the next episode of This Parenting Life.